Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
SpyxFamily, Season 1, Episode 3. We have our family.
We have our family.
Yep, we also have our OP.
We do have our OP.
Although, wait, we didn't get an ED last episode, did we?
I don't think we did.
I don't think so. But, yeah, I'll be excited to see that. But now, what is their family dynamic going to be like?
Well, one is an assassin, one is a spy, one is an esper.
Yep.
I can tell how this just sells itself. Like,
oh,
you just say that and you're like, yes, I'm in. What are we doing?
All the chaos.
Yes. So chaos and them being on a mission together without it all knowing that they're all on the mission together. So
right.
Let's see how they handle the communication and miscommunication issues that are going to arise from this.
I'm sure Anya will help.
I'm sure Anya will be absolutely not a help and just the being of pure chaos.
Yeah.
Love is war, after all.
This is true.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
This does feel kind of like a Kaguya narrator.
Makes smells of bravado.
Oh, man.
Yes. Of how, like, they're drawn to be extra soft in the, like, romantic moments, you know? God, I love this OP so much. Do you think the stuffed animal is actually, like, potentially a thing? Like, you know, like
there was a part of me that was wondering if it had, like, a nanny cam or something like that, or, like...
Oh, a nanny cam?
Well, okay, so, like...
Oh, I was thinking more like it's a spiritual entity possessing it or something like that.
I mean, you know, it's possible, right?
I mean, we have an esper.
Right, so all sorts of things could happen.
God, they went like full hardcore waifu husbando for this
Oh, absolutely,
show. Like,
and I love it.
These two are like premium S-tier waifu husbando. Funky looking car. Oh my god. Time to move in. Oh, I'm just gonna be all wholesome and just...
Let's see the family life.
Oh.
Oh, already bringing up that question.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Right. Thorn Princess.
That's right. Because that does count as kind of a secret identity from the other two. Right.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is...
I love how they say these three, like Anya included, as
Oh,
like,
yes! Oh. Oh my god, this is so cute. It's my room.
That is so cute.
Mr. Chimera, okay.
Oh.
Oh, your clientes. Oh no, they're not showing it immediately. What is... Oh no, I'm worried.
Lloyd prepped it. Oh, okay. No, it seems fine.
Oh.
Sweet.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Ha! She cleaned, yeah. Damn. Holy shit.
Wow. Wait.
Why are they not showing his...
Yeah.
Because they were covering it in the previous episode, like, very, like, specifically. Oh no. Yes, it's done.
Methodical.
What is this normal slice of life stuff? Oh,
And I helped.
I helped. Precious. Beautiful.
Hey, you know, It was hard work eating those peanuts.
Ugh.
You're so good at adopting a different persona.
Uh-huh. Papa orders me. Haha, passing. Wow. Kill me now. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, I have lost heart. This mission is impossible.
Yep.
Right. We need to build some memories. They're gonna go people watch.
Basically.
An Ooting! An Ooting!
I love it.
Oh. No, we will be. It's the same face every time he did it. It works.
And it works so well.
Oh, his tears.
Yeah.
The opera. They're getting ready for the operation. Yeah.
Anya's gonna hear the thoughts of all the people that are there that are like, why are we even here? Like,
nah, she's like, this is boring. Wait, she's steaming? She is aroused by efficient murder.
Yep. I did get a little bit of that vibe in the previous episode, but...
Oh, boss of the secret organization.
She didn't actually get away from the organization. They've been keeping an eye on her to see how she develops.
Yeah. Ah. Right, yes. Right, Spy Wars. Secret identity established.
Oh, this is so cute.
No. My first Ooting. Ah. The night or blood?
Right. Ah, her hair and her eyes.
Yeah. Ah!
これからお出かけの機会も増えますし、店主に結婚の話をしないといけませんね。イーゲンでは愛国教育も盛んだ。
Oh.
Yeah, she would not like this place.
Yeah.
すまん、ちょっと怖かったな。
Oh. Well, because she had to deal with all that stupid stuff in her head.
Cashews. They're not peanuts, but, you know.
手づかみもダメ。夜さんはなんか再度くじけかけている。人生をミスったか。それも素人の価値判断などにあらゆる事態を予測し、準備し、行動するのがスパイの鉄則。想定される面接官の質。
Oh no.
お二人に暗記させる。
少々気晴らしはどうですか？人がゴミのようだ。ここで暮らしてる方々の役に立ってるんだ。
Ah, yes.
頑張ろうって。靴ですよね。すみません。スパイより好き。
Yeah. Oh shit! Whoa! Whoa!
And this music.
大丈夫ですか？お怪我は？平気よ。かすり傷。後で病院へお連れします。
人混みに紛れ。
Anya points them out.
こうなってはもう見つからんだろう。
Have a look.
前また。
She was trying to help, though.
ケーキ食べたい。
Oh.
Nice. Pointing him out without pointing him out.
癖というのはそうそう変え
Damn, I love the way both him and Yor will go and shift into like their fight mode, you know?
Yeah.
警察呼んで突き出しといてください。
But didn't he just snatch up a slave?
Right.
孫にあげるプレゼントのお金入ってたのよ。
うちの夫、主人ですので。
僕は夜さんがよかったら追いかけまし
Yeah.
影なき英雄よ。その活躍が日の目を見ること。
It's nice to see feeling or experience the feeling of doing something good, right?
Yeah.
た。
Appreciation.
Yeah.
父ツンデレ。
Haha.
今日はいい気分転換になりました。仕事を頑張ります。してない。
とっても素敵な家族ね。
Uh-huh.
ちゃんとお礼言
受けたまわりました。
え。模擬面接に再チャレンジだ。休日は何を？
でレストランで食べたりします。
そう。
Hey, yes.
お友達が悪いことをしているところを見てしまう。どうしますか？
つけて臭い飯食わせます。
Ha!
そこは見なかった。
Like, oh, yada yada.
父かっこよかったそうですね。
Oh.
とても素敵な家族ね。
そう見えたのならまあ、恋は進んだと思うことにするか。
Only 100 more days like today. ED!
Yes.
Oh!
Yes, I love it. That's right, because, yeah, she ends up going to the school.
Right.
We're going to have school life, school friends. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Now we just got inundated with floof and fluff.
Yep,
and
just injected straight into our veins. Like, this
Give me more.
This is like one of those, like, PSAs of, like, weebs, start families, get married, have kids, it's wonderful.
You wouldn't want to be a dirty spy who's trying to lower our birth rates, would you?
Exactly. Holy shit.
This is so funny.
Like it's...
Oh my god, it's so cute. So, obviously, the two of them are very good at holding, basically, their covers basically intact here because they don't want to seem suspicious to the other person as well.
Yep.
They're not suspicious of the other person.
Right.
So that works out really well. But of course, Anya is the one that also has a secret identity of
That's
I
right.
am an Esper.
Yeah.
I can never find out about my powers. And yet, of course, because they're so focused on their own aspect of things, they're not seeing the obvious kind of, anomaly that Anya is.
Right. Yeah. What was that line that she said? She was like, yes, the people are like little bits of trash.
Little bits of trash. No,
Where did you hear that?
Anime.
Like, and when she said, like, oh, dad's a softie, like, the actual, like, word being said was just, he's a tsundere. It's like, yes, wonderful, love it. In before we realized that this is actually just Kaguya, but the character's grown up with more exciting lives, maybe.
I honestly think that whoever created this definitely looked at a few popular, like, shonen or, like, just popular series of, like, the last, like, 20 years and just mashed a bunch of things together to make this. Because this is basically a combination of some of my favorite things and then the story simplified in such that the scope is focused on only those things right now.
Right.
Even though there are hintings of political intrigue, psychological, crazy, supernatural type experiments done on a child, all this other darker stuff that's out there. But no. Keep that shit out of here for now.
If One Piece
We're focused on a little found family setup right now.
Exactly. If One Piece can go for over 1,000 episodes on the power of Nakama, right? And, a bunch of other things.
And found family.
No, right. But, yeah, Nakama, found family, all that stuff. What if we just had a show that was, like, literally about that?
Yeah,
right?
and it needs the trappings of all the other fun stuff to give it that little bit of tension
Extra
and also
pizzazz
comedy and flavor. Yeah.
Yep.
But, okay, there we go. We learned a few new things about all the characters. Lloyd is quite good at picking up new skills.
Indeed.
He is learning how to cook to basically be a better, parental figure in this relationship. We now know for certain that Yor is absolutely turned on by blades and or efficient methods of murder.
Yeah, like...
She's like, oh, this weapon could be used for such delightful murder.
Yeah. Like, she sees a weapon. Oh, kawaii koto.
Yeah.
Like... It's something,
straight up.
It's something where, like, you got to be passionate about what you do. If you're going to do a job, might as well have fun with it. No one wants to be trapped in a job they hate. But when she looked at the painting of the guillotine,
and she's just like,
it's just like, oh.
Yes.
All right.
She is truly the best waifu. Of course, yes. It is not step on me. It is, please kill me now.
Please just step on me. Yeah.
I also really liked that when he was doing the mock interview part with her, she was like, yeah, strike first to declare victory or what have you. And I'm like,
Right, because at first he was talking about like, what was it?
your parenting?
Well, no,
parenting.
no, right.
That was the one I was thinking of. But
Yeah, but there was one before that. There was like, if someone was like passing or like, I don't know, and it's like,
or like, yeah, I think it was about passing to get into the
yes,
school.
exactly,
And she's
right,
like,
and
blunt trauma,
right. She's
heart
thinking,
failure?
how would someone die?
Pass
Yeah,
away.
I mean, there's so many ways. Yeah, I love it.
I really like that the idea of her being, well, the one that's slightly out of touch with reality in that regard means that it's so extreme at times that it just makes him frustrated about needing to basically carry this mission on his back, basically, when
Gets a back brace. Yeah,
both of them are exceptionally useful in ways that he doesn't notice.
right. It's something where, in a similar way to Anya with the first episode, where he realizes that he needs to understand her, right? And
Right.
that could help bring about world peace, right? That also needs to happen with Yor, right? Because you guys are married now, right?
Yeah.
You got to figure out how to make that work, you know?
Right.
And just because she's different from you, just because she doesn't have some mind palace and isn't some pro spy that can, to pick up any
Adopt.
skill on the fly
Yeah.
and, and just adapt to whatever environment she's in, that doesn't mean that, she's just a burden, right? You just got to figure out, a dynamic.
Right, and the way in which she leapt in to save the woman was a cool way to kind of tie in something that really has nothing to do with her assassin job, is the idea that she was looking at this area and being like, oh, this is what kind of makes me want to keep doing my job and
Right.
makes me love it so much, is seeing how everyone can go about their lives, which is fun because that was the stuff that he was getting from his upper echelon people of, and remember, the way that people are able to go about their daily lives is because of the work that you do. It's kind of
Right.
the classic brainwashing of like, you are here to make this country or this people or what have you a better, what have you.
Whatever you do is justified because it's for something precious, right?
Right.
But-
and yet she acts in the midst of that, whereas he was like, oh, that's unlucky. That's too bad.
Right.
So for her, it's actually a little bit more real. It's a little bit more of something where it means something to her, probably because she has more attachment outside of her own life because of, one, she has a brother.
Yeah, she set down roots. Like this is
Right.
her home, right? It's
Yeah,
not
whereas
just a place for a mission.
Exactly. Whereas he's constantly traveling, he's
Yep.
changing his identity all the time, so he can't be too attached to his environment. And she's giving him reasons to do that, which then led into the reasons as to why they're then killing it, in the mock interview.
Right, exactly.
Because she now, Anya, has all these lovely memories that she can fall back on here. Well, some of them, you have to,
I hope
that
you
one.
eat a foul. Your meal is foul, Oh, yeah, well, maybe forget about that.
But yeah, we
Also-
have the Tsundere spy, the
Yep.
the out of
touch
assassin, and the Esper
Yep.
child, who's the
Who is
matchmaker.
who is not only a matchmaker, but is smart enough that when she's like, I telepathically can pick this guy out of a crowd, I point, but I don't point at the guy.
Right.
I say, Papa, cake,
Yeah.
right? To make him look in that direction, and then he sees the guy.
And also,
Brilliant.
she probably not only had him look in that direction, but she had him look in such a way that by the time he looks there, then he would be there. So she probably
Right.
picked a place that was ahead of where he was walking, so that his reaction time to be like, oh no, oh, I see.
Yep. Yeah. It's just, I love it.
It's so good.
It's
Because
some.
if we wanted to have an episodic kind of show like this,
We totally could.
we totally could, but we have a deadline.
Right.
So in a fun way, having an episodic adventure like this is like oh no, we might not get many of these at a point in the future, so we need to actually treasure these because
these
the
are-
dynamic will change eventually.
Right. And when it gets to the point where it's we need to go our separate ways or whatever.
Sure.
These are the things that it's like, hey, are you really going to give this stuff up? Like,
Didn't you like that?
Wasn't it pretty great?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, the brother. It could be no one.
It could be nothing.
Right. and it's just they're not important to the story, right? So we don't show their face, right? Because if you see a face like the friends, from the previous episode, then it could be like,
yeah, let's throw that completely out of there.
But
the brother's absolutely important to the story. His identity is not necessarily someone that we know right now, but it is someone that we could have basically like become an important thing in the future.
Even if it's just he's not being introduced yet, and he's an important character to Yor, even if he's not important to the big plot.
He might be important to the
totally
plot later.
It could be, yeah.
Right.
And
I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, because what I'm looking for is the ways that each of their backstories, ties, etc., can be brought into the plot.
Yep, exactly.
Because right now the only one that's actually connected to the plot is Twilight, right? Because this is his mission. But if we have something like, if that chimera stuffed animal is actually like a nanny cam for the people that experimented on Anya, that could be a way that they get brought into this, right?
Sure.
If Yor's brother is some higher up person that's connected to some of, Twilight's mission, right? Then that can be a way that she gets brought into it even more.
Yep.
And I just more of that, more chaos, more exploring who these people are.
Yes.
Love it.
And now that we've seen them, all three of them together for a full episode, let's now have some episodes where we focus more so on one of them outside of the dynamic of three, and how much they kind of have that moment of like, oh, I return to the home dynamic. Like, Yor had that moment of walking back up the house and be like, oh,
yeah,
this is home. And I want to throw another read there on Yor. She works as a civil servant, but she was practically a maid from what we could see at the town or the city hall or what have you. I think when she was gushing about how nice the place was, that's because she didn't live in a really nice place. She had one dress.
Yeah.
There's a couple things about Yor, and the fact that the job that Yuri has is something that was like a big deal.
Right.
That could be something where her brother was in an even worse situation, and her job as an assassin allowed her to give, basically set up connections with which he could then get a really good job. I think there's a possibility that they're setting up some kind of broader kind of story within that context.
Yeah, there were a few things that we got in the world, like that we've gotten in the world so far. One is that if a woman doesn't have a husband and she's in her mid to late 20s, that's suspicious.
Right.
Okay. The camera that was used when they got the picture taken had the open bulb like flash thing, which gives me the vibe of like,
we might have been wrong that we're actually in a bit of an older time, maybe the 80s. Maybe this is literally supposed to be a Cold War kind of setting.
Yeah, and that would also kind of fit with the like a lot of the more classic spy films and things like that, where they not as many of them coming
early
out
James
recently.
Bond, basically.
Yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. And then just like the style of like some of the paintings and the pictures and just the visuals of things. It's like, okay, this could be theoretically.
It's true. We haven't had a lot of 21st century technology really been kind of focused on, other than maybe
like the fact that he got delivered like a physical, like in the previous episode, the coin with the physical piece of paper that he then like zooms in on, then and can see like the codes, like as opposed to just you have your cell phone.
I genuinely thought that's more of the thing of where, this is primarily for the purpose of having a kind of a gadget-based sci-fi thing.
Gadgets can
Not
get kind
sci-fi,
of
but gadget-based spy kind of story.
Yeah, gadgets can get a lot more boring when you get into the 21st century.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
It's
more fun to have it be this
coin that
visual thing.
Exactly, as opposed to just there's some ones and zeros and here you have the information.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's the majority of it, though I do agree in that I might have been wrong. We're probably in about a 30 to 40 years before current time.
And who knows how much, if any, that will come into play with the actual plot of things. It could just be for the aesthetic and things like that. Because this is, a new world, right?
Yeah, we're gonna eventually put Anya into a school setting. Where technology is irrelevant probably anyway. Yeah. Oh, and then we're also going to be having a situation where people are just going to be using guns. It's not really going to be a question as to what type of gun they're using. Right. And then for the most part, Yor doesn't have anything about her character so far that has to exist in the 21st century or what have you. So for right now, this fictional world that we're in has basically been trying to keep us apprised of what the macro scale political situation is without actually having the characters deal with it in their daily lives, which in my opinion just keeps the entertainment value up a lot.
Yes.
Because I don't want to get bogged down in remembering like politician names
Nope,
and all that stuff
me
at
neither.
this point.
But
I
at the
want
same
to get
time-
introduced to the family and their dynamic.
Right, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were things that were being set up basically
Seeded, yeah.
in these episodes
Yep.
in just very subtle ways, so that way it can be brought up later. And then, hey, we have some conflict. It's very relevant to the family somehow.
Yep.
And then we've got to deal with it, and ittle be a great fun adventure.
I honestly think that most of the foreshadowing done right now is being used in a comedic kind of delivery method, and I think we've already caught on to a couple of those that are more like, oh, that would be funny, you know?
Right.
And it's like, oh no, that goes
If there's
to
something that
long-term
would be
memory
a
just
lot
in
of
case.
right, yeah, if there's something that would be a lot of fun to have happen, it's maybe a good chance
Probably
that
going
it
to happen.
would happen.
It's
Yeah.
just a matter of when.
Right.
But all right, yeah, very simple, sweet episode, and I love these three. I love
Yeah.
these three.
Anytime like we just get family dynamics in anime and stuff, and this one in particular, I feel like does it, just hits the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Words can't describe,
Yeah.
the fuzzy feelings in my heart. It's just like, yes, more of this.
I just also can't believe the mileage we're getting off of Anya's just face. Like,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like that face alone is like used already like 40 times, and it's like I love it every single time. Like,
Yeah, the shticks are well established, and they are not growing old so far.
No.
Like, yeah.
So yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yes, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all
Next time.